along with the ability to view variegated thread inside of the Floriani software, for the Floriani Total Control professional and commercial users, we also included the ability to create your own variegated thread chart. So you may own some variegated thread by a different brand. Like I said, we in an earlier video we did put all the variegated Floriani threads into the software, but if you own a different variegated thread, you do have the ability to create a thread chart that includes that variegated color, and I wanted to go ahead and show you how that works. You go up to Tools on the menu bar and select Thread Chart Creator. This will open up the thread chart window. You can select to add a color. You can even open up other thread charts, but we're going to go ahead and add a color here. And the difference that you'll find in the thread chart creator now in this latest update is that over here on the right hand side there's this new box called Type, and when you click inside the box you get a little arrow that you can click on, and it gives you the options of saying if it's a standard thread, that just allows you to apply one color, metallic thread, which is a single color, and then you have variegated thread. So if I select variegated, I can come in here and click on this color number 1, and it will open up a box where I can actually go in and apply color. So I'm going to click in this color number 1, and it's going to open up a box. So let's say that the first color in the variegated thread that I have that I'm creating a chart for, let's say it was kind of this color right here. You can go into this custom and you can really kind of modify the tints, click anywhere in the designs. So we're going to go ahead and select this color right here. I'm going to press OK. And then for the second color, which is the next variation in the variegated thread, let's say that it's this yellow color. I'm going to hit OK. Let me go ahead and choose a kind of a more green color. And let's say it goes into even a red, and from the red it goes into kind of a purplish color. Now the unique thing about this thread chart creator is you'll see right over here, and it says length in millimeters. If you measure the thread and you measure how long this color blue is before it transitions to yellow, you can actually put that amount in here and it will give you a pretty accurate viewing of what that thread will look like inside of the software, and so that when you sew it out it should be a pretty good representation. So the way that I recommend doing it is get a ruler that has centimeters on it, and when you have a ruler with centimeters, it makes it pretty easy to transition over into millimeters. And let's say that you learn that the first color is 80 millimeters long. Let's say the second one is 200. The yellow goes for 200 millimeters. Let's say the green only goes for about 20 millimeters. And the same thing for the red. Let's say it goes 30. Let's say the purple ends up going for 150 millimeters, sorry. And then go ahead and hit OK. And you can see that it's created this little color wheel over here. And you can name it, you can call it a color code. I'm going to say 1. I'm not going to name it anything else. You can actually give it a name. So if you know the name of the thread color that you're using, you can go ahead and select that or type that in. I'm going to go ahead and hit save right now. Or if you wanted to add, let's go ahead and add one more color just so that we have a couple colors in here. I'm going to hit add. I'm going to go over here again and I'm going to select variegated. I'm going to come over to my color, select it, and color box number 1. Let's say that this one is kind of, the first color is this lightish blue color, and let's say that it goes for 50 millimeters. Let's say the second color transitions over into kind of a more tealish color, and let's say it goes for 175 millimeters. Let's say the next color comes in here as a yellow and it goes for about 75 millimeters. Let's say it transitions over into an orange color, and let's say that it is about 65 millimeters. And let's give it one final color. Let's say it transitions into this blue, and we'll say that that one is about 85 millimeters, and then hit OK. You can see that it created that color in there. I'm going to go ahead and hit save now, and I'm going to have to name this thread chart, so I'm just going to call this sampler because it is an actual thread that I own. So I'm going to go ahead and call it sampler and hit save, and let me go ahead and close out of this. So let me go to color number 1. I'm going to go and click on it. First I do need to select the thread here. Let's say I'm going to go and apply this color number 2 to it, open up the thread chart. I'm going to look for my sampler thread chart that I created, and then I'm going to come in here and let's say I want to add this this color number 2, and hit OK. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So you can see on this, in this design, that we did distinguish, we did apply different lengths to each color, and you can see how that works in the design. You can see that these 3 colors right here are pretty close in length. This one's a little bit shorter and this one's a lot longer. And let's go ahead and let's change this color to this other one, the first one we created, and hit OK. And you can see that you can see even more variance in this one because we added, I think it was 200 millimeters for the yellow, and then we kind of 150 for the purple, and I think it was like 50 or so for the blue. But you can see how creating it and actually doing some measurements, you can get a pretty good representation, a very accurate representation of what the color will look like. So it's pretty easy to create your own thread charts. Again, you go to Tools and Thread Chart Creator. We're going to go ahead, let's open up this sampler thread chart, and you see it brings up those 2 colors. And like I said, adding a new color, just hit the add button, make sure you change the type to variegated, and then you can go right into the color and start choosing your colors. And like I said before, you can drill down into the custom and you can really affect the different hues. So it's pretty simple to create your own thread chart. You can play around with it, and you'll see quite a few uses for that if you own the variegated thread. It's just a really neat thing that was added, and just the fact that we're able to create our own variegated thread chart. So if we own variegated thread that's not listed in the software, we can go ahead and include those into our designs. And I'm going to go ahead and hit OK on this one. I just created another one, and I can hit save it as the same name, replace it yes, close it, come down to color number 2 and change it to this new one, hit apply. You can see that it's pretty evenly distributed because we didn't change the lengths, but it's a really neat feature. So we hope that if you own other variegated threads, that you will take the time to create your own thread chart so that you can get a pretty good representation of what the design will look like once you sew it out.